Hey, hi everybody. Welcome to Life After Mental Illness with Bill MacPhee. I'm your host, Bill MacPhee, and I'm your recovery expert. And recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anyone else other than who you are today. Today we took a question from Patricia regarding her son who refuses to take antipsychotic medication or work with a physician. And so we talked a little bit about that in today's vlog. And tomorrow we're going to talk about the advantages and the disadvantages of owning a pet when you have a mental illness. So come back tomorrow and watch this. And remember, recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else other than who you are today. And there is life after mental illness. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hey, hi everyone. How you doing today? Today I'm answering a question from Patricia. And Patricia emailed me and asked this. She says, "Hi Bill, I just watched your video honoring your parents for their support over the years. Very nicely done. I don't know if you have covered this topic yet, but I would like to know how a parent can encourage treatment for their son. My son has been ill with schizophrenia for 8 years, and sadly he has no interest in working with a doctor or taking medication. He is able to live independently, but his health continues to decline. He says he wants natural treatment and doesn't believe in medication. Thank you for asking for topics to address in the future. I appreciate your authenticity in sharing. Sincerely, Patricia." Well, Patricia, thank you for your question. First of all, let me tell you, it sounds like your son. You say he's living independently. First of all, we got to say, great. That's a great step. It's a major step. There's a lot of people out there with mental illness who cannot live independently, who are basically living with their parents or in substandard housing, or just not themselves independently. And that's one of the, and as parents, I know that a lot of you know that that's a great, one of the major goals in your life is to have your children live independently, and that's very, very, very important. Though I want to tell you that independently doesn't have to mean lonely or substandard. There's a lot of people who live independently that have really great lives. So first of all, that's a good thing. Now, as far as you mentioned about your son that he wants to take he's looking for natural treatment or doesn't want to work with the doctor. I want to talk a little bit about that. First of all, I would never tell anybody not to try this or not to try that or don't try this. You know what? Some people have luck with certain things, other people don't. So even though I might not buy into the naturopath or natural treatment or medication or whatever, I'm not going to tell somebody not to try something, because you know what, we all are trying to get the best quality of life. And if that means trying something here that's not really mainstream, well, and if you tried everything else, that's what you have to do. But going into that, about your son, about helping him to try to have treatment, a lot of times what happens is that we need to negotiate. If we have something over somebody, if we're providing their room and board, if we're providing, their money for cigarettes, or we're providing, their food money, whatever we're providing somebody, that's a negotiating tool. And we really need to negotiate with people and say, listen, if you do this, I'll give you that. Or, you do this, what I'm asking you, and I'll give you this. That's negotiation. You live every day, whether if you work, you negotiated with your boss. I'm going to come to work for 5 days a week from 9 to 5, and at the end of the week I get a paycheck for doing this work. That's a negotiation. That's something you negotiated. And life is full of negotiation. That's what we do. That's what it is. Life is negotiating. So you need to find something that you can negotiate with your son to say, listen, if you do this, I'll do that. And that might be, okay, if you do and take this medication, well then maybe, or I will do your laundry. Or maybe, I will help you with your rent. Or maybe I will take you out to dinner twice a week or something like that. We need to find something that we can have over something, some kind of power that we can negotiate with somebody in order to try to help them. Another thing that's very important to realize that, and people want a better quality of life. So say for example, we can sit down with somebody and say, listen, here are your choices that you're making, whether they're good choices or bad choices. And you kind of write them all these choices down, and you kind of do a scenario. Well, if I do this and I do that and I do this, the outcome may be that. Or if I do this and I do this and I do this, the outcome might be this. And you look at the outcomes and you try to convince the person that these outcomes will lead to a better quality of life. Because really, in general, life is all about choices. We make choices literally every second, every few seconds in our life. We're always making choices. And the more right choices we make in life, most likely we're going to have a better life. It just makes sense. So on a constant basis, we always have to be telling ourselves or hoping to ourselves or asking ourselves, am I making the right choice? And really trying to make the right choice. Now, if somebody is mentally ill, we're not making the right choices, and it's hard for us to make the right choices. That's why we need to negotiate, and that's why we need to teach what right choices can do in our lives and what positive negotiation. So Patricia, what I would say is that I think it's great that your son is living independently. There's a lot of people out there that wish that they were in your boots in that scenario. But in order to try to maybe get your son maybe to at least examine the idea or think about it, or to perhaps we need to look at negotiation, and we need to sit down with them and go over each individual choice that we make on an hourly, on a daily, on a weekly, on a basis, because our lives is about choices. So thanks, Patricia, and have a good day. Bye-bye. Hi, thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And also be able to send me your questions at bill@billmcphee.ca. As well, for more information, go to billmcpheerecoveryexpert.com. Links will be in the description below. Come back for another vlog tomorrow, and remember, recovery is when you wouldn't want to be anybody else other than who you are today. And there is life after mental illness. Have a great day.